introduce yourself and then tell us a little bit about your NF story.
My name's Ashley Nicole Moore. I was actually diagnosed with neurofibromatosis at the age of 2. So it took about 2 years before they were able to finally figure out what was going on. My mom took me to the pediatrician. He said that like my diaper was too tight. I also was dragging like my right foot because I had a leg issue as well. And this doctor is like 100% there's something going on with your child. It's not a diaper issue. So they referred me to Children's Mercy. Children's Mercy wanted to do surgery on my leg, and what they would do is put like a steel cage around my leg
Yeah.
for months at a time. And so my parents were like, no, no, you're not doing that to our 2-year-old daughter.
Oh,
It's not something we want to do. So they went back to the doctor again and was like, hey, if that referral didn't work out, we need something else. And so she referred me to Truman Medical Center. And believe it or not, same doctor walks in there and says, you already know what I want to do.
wow.
And it was really challenging for them. And then my mom was looking in the newspaper and she's seen where Shriners Hospital was actually doing a screening for children. And she's like, well, what is left to do at this point? Let me take my kid and see what they think.
Hmm.
And I had a sponsor right away. They knew what they wanted to do and how to help me. And so then in a few weeks, I went to St. Louis, Missouri, and seeing St. Louis Shriners Hospital. They were able to physically give me like a better life in general because their option is when I finally got done growing, they could stop the growth on my legs and that would help. And then they also sent me to Cardinal Glennon, where I was formally diagnosed with neurofibromatosis. It's caused learning impairments, orthopedic issues. I've had now a total of 5 spine surgeries
Wow.
in my lifetime, and it's getting worse as I age. And so, like the doctor that I see right now, she said that is kind of common in some people that the NF can do this. It was just real heartbreaking when you're in your knees and you're like hearing this for the first time. Like it's a small number that neurofibromatosis can get a little bit more aggressive. Like it affects my pain every day. I have chronic migraines that are part of it. It's just very overwhelming. And then like when you go out in the public eye and people notice like the little lumps and bumps that you can get and they're just like, oh, you have a wart. And I'm like, no, no, I
No.
don't. So I think having people more aware in how to maybe like approach somebody
Hmm.
would be more beneficial just in the community itself because I don't think anybody should have to explain what they're going through. I think people just need to be more non-judgmental and
Hmm.
that would help. But
Yeah, I agree. So, can you walk?
yes, I can. So with Shriner's help, they put a 3-inch heel on the bottom of my left shoe, and this caused me to be able to keep up with my siblings. And now I only have like a 3/4 inch insert that I put in my left shoe, and then that makes me completely even with walking. And so I loved how they did it. I didn't have a steel cage. I wasn't admitted to the hospital for 6 months at a time. So they did a great job.
Was the unevenness from just like curved bones, or was it like a tumor making your legs uneven?
It's a length discrepancy. One leg was growing faster than the other, which is part of what everybody can go through.
Hmm.
And then also the scoliosis was from walking uneven. And so they actually had to they wanted me to wear a brace and I tried that for a little while, but when you're 12, you're like, nah, not for me. So I did not wear it all the time. And that brought me up to spinal surgery pretty quickly. I'm still able to do most common things. for the most part.
Were you bullied in school because of NF?
I was bullied in just general, because when you have a lift on the bottom of your shoe, kids are cruel. I mean, I had kids ask me all the time if they could borrow my platform shoes. That's just nerve breaking. And I also have a plexi tumor that's on my right leg, so it's bigger in anyway. And kids would point that out. So now, like, I'm more self conscious about wearing shorts. I don't want to do it because I'm like, well, that tumor is there, and people do notice it. It's just I don't like doing that. So
Have you gone to the walks? And if you have, would that be like a safe space where you would feel comfortable like wearing shorts and showing your tumors?
I have not been to a walk. But yes, I feel more comfortable when I'm around people that have neurofibromatosis. My boyfriend actually also has neurofibromatosis.
Wow. Did you
We
meet
met
through like some organization or something?
We did. We met
Oh,
on a group for NF. I think it was like the singles page of neurofibromatosis. So that's how we met. But I do feel more comfortable when I'm around him because I feel like he connects with me and we know each other. Same with like my mom. She has NF as well. And so like I feel more comfortable like sharing information versus the person that doesn't have it. Because most people don't understand what it is, or they think they can catch it from you. And I'm just like, okay, well, that's nice.
yeah.
So I just feel more, as a whole, better with the support group that I do talk with, because they have more of an understanding of what is going on.
Yeah. So you mentioned your mom has it, so it was passed down genetically then, huh?
Yes.
And then does her parents have it, or was she like a mutation, or how did it go?
Her mom actually had it. My grandma is no longer living. And so my mom has it, my brother has it, and then it came to me. I have a brother in between that, but he does not have it at
Mhm.
all.
That's a statistic, right? It's like flip of a coin.
It is. As a young adult, it's really kind of affected like my overall being, just mentally and physically. Physically, I'm not able to do a lot of things that most people would be able to do. Um, and that has taken like a major toll because I always want to try everything and
Mhm.
do everything. But that I can't. I think when I was recently like going through a lot, they actually found a nodule in my left breast, which is also something that can be caused by the neurofibromatosis.
Mhm.
That was very scary. My grandma actually passed away from breast cancer,
Oh, wow.
and then to be able to hear that for the very first time, like this is what we found, it is there, it made you really like think about life. Why is it happening to me? Why isn't there a cure yet? It has hindered in the mental aspect of it. Because I'm always questioning like why is this person suffering more, or why does my boyfriend only have his one good eye because he has a plexi tumor over his left eye. So I think when you get older it does take a toll, but it's also taken a toll on my learning aspects. I have a learning disability, where I'm not up to par with other classmates. I'm actually finishing up my bachelor's degree. I'll have it in December of
Wow.
this year.
Good for you.
So
Congratulations.
thank you. I think that has also like put a hinder on things too, because like I physically can probably able to do the work, but I'm learning at a slower rate. So
Yeah.
to be able to get and master that degree it's still mind blowing. I'm still trying to like take that in. Um, and I'm also the first college graduate of my family.
Wow.
So that's something to be impressive with. I'm actually going to hopefully talk to the university that I'm at about getting something of more of awareness on campus about neurofibromatosis, because we don't have that. And I think if there's other kids out there or other students that are not so much suffering, but having that same thing, then maybe we can come together as a whole and spread the awareness around the university.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's how it starts. And then just to normalize it and just to be accepted and seen. And it all starts with awareness. So you're doing good work. Are there things that you would say you've gained from having NF?
Like strengths and is I'm unstoppable. You can tell me like you're not gonna do something, and I try to exceed that limitation. I know with my spinal surgeries that I will never play a contact sport, which who wants to play football at my age? I mean, I'm almost 30, so I guess I shouldn't say that. For me, I try to be someone that, like my nephew, he has NF and he also has autism with it as well. I'm setting that goal for him. Like, you can accomplish things if you set your mind to it. We can get through this together as a family unit. And I think that's what it's going to take to like help with that. Just because you have NF doesn't keep you from doing certain subjects.
How did you get into everything with NF Midwest? And then like what's your experience been like with the organization specifically?
So I was really down about 4 years ago, because there I was like, Mom, there's no support groups around us, like none. And a lot of people are so not knowing about the disease. And so she's like, well, have you visited Facebook pages? And I'm like, well, no, I didn't even know that there were pages for us. So she added me to some of those groups. And so one of them is the Show Me your NF page, which is basically in Missouri. And we came a little closer because we have support group on the third Wednesday night of the month, which is nice because like you can talk about what's going on or how you can help with this. And right now they're talking about the walk that's taking place in Columbia. That first initial step of getting into those groups for my mom was really positive, because then I was like, oh yeah, I can post here because I feel safer in
Mhm.
this network than I would just posting on a regular Facebook
Mhm.
page and having my friends be like, what is this? And now you can just be like, in these special groups, you can be like, this is happening. Does this happen to anybody else? And usually you get really good feedback from them. So it's really a good thing to have each other like bouncing ideas off each other, is sometimes your symptoms can be the same thing. And then, hey, this worked for this person. So I'm going to try it and see if it works for me. And usually sometimes that will help.
Yeah. Yeah, just the shared experience and like a space where you don't have to explain the whole backstory because you're surrounded by people that already get it.
Yes.
What would you tell a young version of yourself or somebody else that's newly diagnosed with NF? Do you have any advice that you would offer them?
I would say don't be afraid to ask questions. There's never a stupid question. These providers are excellent in their care. Always find a doctor that you can trust and that specializes in neurofibromatosis, because that also helps. And I would also say, like, don't feel as you're failing at things that you can't do, because it's not your fault. But just slow down, take a breath, and let people be there to support you in anything you need. I would just say, like, for people that don't have NF, don't stare at people down in public, because that makes us even more nervous, because we're very kind of self-conscious as it is, and to always have those eyes on you or things to that nature, it can be very crucial. I would teach parents that have young children that it is okay to come over and ask a question, rather than just keep staring.
Mhm.
It's totally okay to ask a question, and it's not going to be offensive to me anyway. I would prefer a question, and so I can kind of explain it to them,
Right.
and I think that would help as well.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. That's why I'm saying we just need to bring up the awareness so people just, if they see you outside, they expect to see people that are different, and that's okay.
Correct. I became really involved with Midwest when they offered a scholarship, and I was one of the recipient, whatever the word there. I don't know what you want to say.
Yeah.
I was one of the ones that got it. And I think that was a turning point for me for college because I was like, wow, I'm being recognized not only by academic, but also by the Neurofibromatosis Midwest, which is awesome because that really helps when you're going to school to have that. And then it's great. So, anybody that is going to college, I would tell them to definitely apply for the neurofibromatosis um, scholarship because it is wonderful.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, and you're putting it to good use. So
Yes.
we're all proud of you. We're all fighting with you and for you. And thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for meeting and sharing your time and sharing your story. And hopefully it reaches other people that, can relate. That's the end goal, right?
You're welcome. I hope so too.
All right. Have a good rest of your day.
You too.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.